Jennifer Schwab, the CEO over at Entity Academy. Jennifer, such a pleasure to have you here. So tell us why you wanted to launch Entity Academy and what kind of programs are you offering here?
Absolutely. So, back when I was early in my career, I looked at my own situation. I come from a long line of academics, and I entered business in a top, Big Four accounting firm, and I was sort of lost in terms of, how do I navigate the politics of a major company? And looking back, I thought, wow, I really could have used some impartial mentors back then. And so the impetus of Entity is really to provide women mentorship and coaching so they can be successful early in their careers.
And we know how important that is. And being student obsessed is one of your guys' core values. So who really are your students at the end of the day? Why do women come to Entity?
So, we really serve three types of students. So several of our students are women that have liberal arts backgrounds. So they already have four-year degrees, but they're seeing, oh, wow, my upward trajectory is quite limited unless I get some tech skills. So they'll come through our academy to get skills in data science, cybersecurity, software development, and digital marketing. So that's one group. Then we also have back-to-work moms. And that's a really interesting cohort because these are women that have tremendous potential, but they've been out of the workforce for a while. So they come through our programs as well. And then, of course, women that are like, wow, I better upskill if I want to stay relevant. And that group, it tends to be like management and above, and they're saying, hey, I'm going to be more promotable, and I'm also going to be able to manage better if I have certain tech skills.
Yeah, so let's talk about the tech jobs in particular. What challenges are we seeing a lot of women face when they're breaking into a lot of these tech jobs?
Well, look, did you watch the Amazon feature of Super Pumped?
Oh, yes.
About the Uber?
Oh,
okay.
yes.
So, some of that's fiction. It's a little bit of Hollywood, but there are tenets of truth there. And if you watch like the dynamics within the workplace at companies like Uber, and I know there's been a lot of changes there now, but back then, women felt isolated and they felt like they didn't have a voice. And I think that's quite intimidating when people are considering a tech career, especially women that have never been in STEM before. And so we're trying to provide that community and also this sense of, you're not alone, you're not on an island by yourself. You've actually got industry role models you can look up to that are going to help you rise in those careers.
You were mentioning earlier how important a mentorship program is to women who are moving up into the workforce. Why is mentorship so important in this industry in particular?
Well, mentorship's important if you want to accelerate your career. It's important to everybody, but especially for women and young women that are saying, okay, I want to hit the ground running in my first role. Nothing really beats experience and knowing the ropes, especially in a corporate environment. If you can navigate some of that stuff that is really difficult in those early years, you can actually start to manage up and down. And I think that's why it's so important that we pay it forward and we mentor women that are at the entry level in their career.
Absolutely, so true. So for those who are watching this interview right now, what advice do you have for women who are seeking a mentor right now? What are sort of the first steps they need to do to sort of start all of this?
Hey, mentorship's got to be bidirectional. Mentor-mentee relationships can last a lifetime, but make it interesting for the person that's trying to help you. So we always tell our mentees, show up on time, be prepared with questions, be proactive, show appreciation for the fact that they're paying it forward to help you, but also teach them something. I found that a lot of our mentors that are Gen X or boomers, that they will actually learn from our millennial and Gen Z mentees about how they view the world and how they view the workplace, because they're two different things. So I think that mentorship can be bidirectional, and when it is, it's the most rewarding.
Let's talk about some of the really great ambitious goals you guys have. Your goal here is to help over 1 million women just by 2025, so only a few years from now. How are you going about reaching that goal, and how close are you to reaching that?
Well, we have a lot of strides, but when we help women, we not only are helping women that go through our education programs, we're matching women with jobs that are just part of our online community. So our online community has over 1.5 million followers across our different social networks, and we also have a number of mentorship fireside chats that are open to that community. And we connect those people that participate in those fireside chats with prospective hiring managers. You know, we have them fill out assessments. We know what their skill sets are, so we can do a lot of matching. Yeah, it's an ambitious goal, but we think we can get there, and we're going to continue to expand our programs. Right now, we're very focused on data science, cybersecurity, software development, and digital marketing, but we have big plans to go into product management, UX, UI design, and a number of other verticals in the tech space.
So I have about another minute left with you. Let's talk about the future of Entity Academy, and also how can women get involved in this company?
Absolutely. You know, there's so many phenomenal organizations and notable philanthropists, as well as other companies addressing women in the workplace. I see this really interesting coalition building to help us leverage each other's talents and also make sure that we are looking at this from multiple lenses. To close the gender wage gap and wealth gap, it's going to take a village. And so I'm really looking forward to working with partners to reach these ambitious goals. And, you know, when I look at our own inner mission of just getting more women into tech and closing the wage gap, it's really a daunting task. And I personally think that if we can work together and we can also develop more services that really hone in on why women don't want to get into tech or they don't want to stay in tech, I think it's going to be a critical move for us.
Absolutely. Jennifer, such a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah,
Jennifer Schwab is the CEO of Entity Academy.